Hello, welcome to Access Paranormal, and tonight we have the actual Mr. L35 himself, Neil Murray, here, and also him. But sorry, Jonathan, couldn't resist that one. So Neil, we finally nailed you down.
It's only took 3 years.
I know. Well,
I know, yeah.
Well, you're the Mr. L35, the L35 Radio itself, aren't you? So it's trying to get you to actually come in and do something with us has been very difficult.
Yeah, it's been busy, isn't it, all around. We did the Ghost Hunt here last year. We were going to do something at the end of that, but we didn't get the time because we just didn't get the time. Yeah. And it's just life, isn't it? Busy, but we're here now. I know. Got a little gab.
Well, we had to pin him down somehow, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, it was the free burger and chips,
which he ate.
Yeah.
Before the show started, Jonathan's just come in with burger, chips, and apple bottom.
Smells great in here, by the way. But we didn't get anything.
I'm full with the fumes, though. Are you?
Yeah.
So Neil, we've captured you, and it's great to see you.
Used to.
But we've captured you for the paranormal, haven't we? Because before you've done all the L35 radio, L35, because
L35.
I was going to correct it.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I know I missed it.
I know, I was waiting for you to go, L35.
I'm not used to him saying L35. You know,
I do now and then go L35. Oh, God. I've got like this Neil Murray in my head now.
He's the longest, broadcaster for us on L35.
Am I?
You are, yeah. You are the longest now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, continued for 3 years. So you are the longest.
Thankfully,
paid
I'm not the
for the last 3 years.
Yeah, the oldest, I know.
But and you're the only one who fails to pronounce the name incorrectly.
Sorry about that, Neil.
I should correct them down again for you.
L35.
Thank you.
Anyway, back on target.
Yes.
We've got you because obviously you got us onto your radio show about the paranormal.
We did, didn't we? And a while ago, wasn't it?
I said to Jonathan, we need to get Neil in and talk about him, because I remember a few years beforehand I was actually on your show.
That's right.
Doing an interview with you, and I don't know who the other person was.
It was Phil Sefton. It was a program we used to have called Have Your Say on Wednesday evening. We used to bring various topics at the time. We covered quite a lot of topics actually, and there was 2 topics which were brilliant at the time, and they went down both really well. One was yourselves, with obviously the paranormal we did, and the other was about knife crime, Adam Ellison. But they're the 2 top of all time have been the best. But the paranormal on that particular night, it was a brilliant listen, and also we had a couple of people involved as well on that particular night, and a couple of the groups. But the response was great, and we had a lot of good listenership on that night as well. And then obviously we tracked you down after that, and then we found out you were doing the podcast, and that's when we approached you again.
It's all going around in one big circle when you think about it.
But I met you, I don't know if you remember, years and years before that, here, because I came to a ghost night here.
Did you?
I think it was as well, wasn't it? With our mutual friend of ours.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, Andy. Andy.
Come on.
Is that good of a name? I can't remember his second name. Sorry, Andy.
I know you mean.
Andy, Rosie and Andy. I call them party pits.
They were light paranormal.
Light paranormal. Yeah. I know because they used to do some party stuff when we used to do discos and stuff.
That's right.
But Andy,
But anyway, we're going to capture you now because you've interviewed me, and I thought, payback. And obviously you've been on Paranormal Investigations, you've just admitted it. Because when I said you were talking about paranormal tonight, you said, no, I haven't done any. So now you've admitted it now. So when you've been on an investigation, what got you interested in the paranormal?
It's always been there for many years. Well, even well before the likes of like most haunted stars and stuff like that, I've always had an interest in it. It's just always fascinated me, to be fair. I've never had nothing to go like a poke or like that. So, I've never nothing like that. You know what I mean?
It's hard, isn't it?
Oh, okay, it's not meant to you. But I've never had that. You get like sensations and feelings and stuff like that. And then the very first paranormal went on was Hack Green Nuclear Bunker.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it. That was a brilliant place. I've never experienced dark like Hack Green.
Really. But it's underground as well.
Yeah, it was like 30 foot down, solid concrete. But I missed that. I was the one, and actually did get a few things that night as well. Like a little bit of touching on the hair in this room. It was very, very good. Very good. And that sort of sparked it more and more. Then, so we used to go more and more. But been there a couple of times. Hack Green, both times never disappointed.
Okay. So I think I've been twice, and there was one. Were you with us then?
I've been once. I went with Lynn Murphy.
Must have been with us. Oh,
I don't think you were
No.
there, you know.
no.
You could.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you could
no.
have been actually.
Yeah. I know the one we went on. We split into a few groups, or 2 groups, I'll say 2 groups. And we went into one area, they went in the other area, and we heard this woman, a real high scream. And we thought that was that group messing around, and they thought it was us messing around. It was only when we were on our breaks and we were talking, we thought you caught us out there with that scream, didn't you? But no, we thought it was you.
Oh, right, so.
So both of them, we both all heard it, but we all assumed we were messing
Yeah.
around and that. And it wasn't, it was a clear scream. So like you were saying then, Hackney and nuclear bunker is a good one.
Yeah, it is very, very good. Yeah.
So what other places have you been to as well?
We went to one in Chester. Oh, I can never remember the name of it now. It's
Stanley Palace.
that's the one, yeah, Stanley Palace.
Good man, right?
Yeah, you know what? And that to be fair, we got there. It's it's dead flat, you know, nothing going on, really, very flat. Was in the back. It's like a room with a big table in the middle, and it's just the back room. We were all around it doing things, calling out, getting bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We had the what is it? It's one of the game consoles set up. Like it's like the stick images.
Yeah, the
one of them
Xbox.
set up.
You know,
Xbox, yeah, we had that set up.
Yeah,
And,
that's what it's called.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
And
Good
you know
job he's
what?
here.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But we had that set up. I've never seen it work before, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I must admit, we were getting like it's got like a stick man, isn't it? It goes up,
Yeah, that's right.
And it was we were getting all sorts of bits and pieces off it like that, and it was active. But 3 of us got the sensation of ring of roses, ring of roses
Oh,
in the
nice.
room,
Pop,
and that's we had to sort of singing it and saying it while we're in there. And at the end of the night, there's a book which you go and sort of you only give it at the end of the night, say about what your thoughts. And the amount of people who were put in there in that particular room, we got the urge to sing "Ring of Roses."
Oh,
And
that's
the
right,
3 of us got
right.
that same urge, you know, to sing that, to sing it basically.
Did you sing it?
Well, you know, mimed it. Let somebody else sing it, I just mimed it. But it was quite a strong sensation, you know what I mean? But you always told on it sort of like just relax, open your mind up,
Yeah.
you know, and just sort of, you know, take
Go
it
with
in.
the flow
Yeah, go with
type
it, yeah,
thing,
yeah. That's what I've been told. You just sort of, you know, just wherever it comes into your mind, you know, just go with it.
Mm.
And that's what we're doing in there, and it, you know, it works.
It's good there though. I like it in there.
Yeah.
Got a room,
It's
yeah,
only
you have a
small,
room,
isn't it,
don't
really?
you? Yeah, it is only very small.
Yeah.
It's got the upstairs, but it's
Yeah. Is
that
only
with the
like,
piano?
It's open, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one open floor, isn't it? It's,
Yeah, it's very creaky.
Beautiful building.
It's
But
lovely,
there's
yeah.
one particular room downstairs, isn't there?
Which one is it? The one on the very end with the coloured glass?
Yeah, it's like a study or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where we
that'll
were.
be it,
That's
yeah.
where we were. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where the
that's
coloured
one,
glass is.
Yeah.
Because that points out to the main road.
It's got a name, the room though, hasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
Room.
to be fair.
A room with a
Square
boo.
room.
A room
No,
with
it's got,
sorry.
it's actually got a name.
Is
a
it?
room with a boo. Okay,
Anyway.
I'll leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the room.
and God for that.
Sorry, it was just there. When I get a bad joke, I have to share it.
I know.
I should have
noticed.
suffered. They say never suffer alone. I'm not. So,
I know we suffer with you.
We 3 quarters of an hour. We've been waiting the amount of junks we've had for the last 3 quarters of an hour. It's just-
but yeah, you came with us last year. We did Halloween last year
we
here.
did L35, which was
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
L35.
brilliant name now, isn't it?
It
L35.
is.
Who come up with that?
Kev.
Was it Kev? Yeah.
Kev came with that. Yeah.
He's
So-
so clever, Kev.
We've got one for Christmas actually, and the Christmas, you know, it's a long time off yet, but
Yeah.
we rebranded to Noel 35.
Noel 35.
Noel 35.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're doing that for Christmas.
Oh, that's a good
Noel
one, isn't
35.
it?
Yeah, so yeah, he's a king of thoughts. Well done, Kev.
But he's a fantastic presenter anyway. and
Kev's
he's-
brilliant. We
amazing
lost out,
stuff.
you know, he does us well, does us proud.
Now we like I was saying, we had you here in the Halloween night. If you hear anybody in the background, there is a paranormal team in tonight doing investigations. They keep saying you hear voices.
And the lights flickering. You turn them off.
They keep saying you keep getting EVP and it's us. So sorry about that. And that night, if you remember, we were upstairs in one of the classrooms there, and everything was working until we went in that room.
That's right.
It would not record at all. We had issues with
Yeah.
things.
we
And
did.
One of the teaching rooms, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And you've been to Mill Street now, was it twice, 3 times?
This is me third time now, yeah.
Third time.
Yeah.
And I know it's tonight you're not doing an investigation, you're with us, what kind of experience have you had here?
The very first time we came, we had in one of the classrooms. What we had where we were last time round, in that same first room we go into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had we set up the glass in there, and we had the medium with us on that particular night. I was going great, but then we sat there around the table, we had the glass on. It was like a yes, no scenario type thing.
Yeah.
We were getting some good responses off it, but then we sat there and you just feel like a nice sea chill across the room at night, and you just felt it change. The whole atmosphere of the room changed. And the I've just gone cold now, actually. And the medium said the best thing to do is to close it down. You can feel like a bit of a bad entity type of thing, try there. It's the best. So at that point we were sort of like, we're getting good strong answers, yes and no's, and and the people in that group, I trusted fully because like two of my brothers, and one was my brother's wife. It's a little band now.
The tap,
yeah. And me brother's wife at the time. And so trusting them all implicably who was there, and the response we were getting was fantastic until we got this call, but we all sort of felt it at the same time.
Now that classroom, you go in through that first door into a little hallway, and then you go into the classroom. So you've got that door, and then the other side there's another door to go out on the other side, but that self closes. So there's nowhere really, and the room's got a partition in as well towards the front. Yeah. It's like a little storeroom. So there's nowhere to get a breeze.
Yeah. So we've actually got audio, because we actually...
you got EVP?
Yeah, we've got audio on there as well, yeah. So, because we taped it and we got a little few things I'll drop it off one night.
Oh,
definitely. We've actually got it, we did do it, yeah. So I'll send it over.
We'll have to put that into a show.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got something new from as well. I think I shared that with you a while ago. What was that new show?
Oh, right. Did you share that with me?
Yeah. I'll leave us alone.
No, we haven't finished the show yet.
Okay, carry on. Yeah, it's getting worse, aren't they?
I'll get it.
Yeah, getting a sound now,
So, it usually gets me anyway.
Well, I remember last time when we was on the L35, and we were down in the little cellar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you were in the corner where the dolls are.
Yeah. That's it, because we were getting
there was a lot of activity there,
wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And if I remember, I'm sure you felt that you got touched or something.
I did, and then it felt like I got touched down there, and then again downstairs we were in this little cellar. Yeah. In this other part down here where we got the love on the walls. You were in the other group, we split into two groups.
We split into two.
Me, Jonathan, Marie, Judith.
That's right.
Paul, was it?
It could have been.
That's right, because Kevin was with us, wasn't he?
Kevin was with yourself.
Yeah.
And my brother David and a couple of others.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because Ian the Hand was here that night.
We had the Hand as well, yes. Yeah. But so it was good. And then on the first time again we were here, we were down in the main cellar, and we had the spirit box. Spirit talker, and get some good responses, and we were at the time they got a bit aggressive talking out, which I don't rightly agree with. I think it should be obviously treated with respect, but they were sort of going the opposite way and antagonising is a better word, isn't it? And they were getting some response back through the spirit box to the point where swearing was coming back through the box.
Oh, right.
And we had to take out my brother's girlfriend, wife, which was at the time, I can't remember.
Yeah.
We had to take her out because she felt really affected. And we had to take her out of the area. And I remember going back at the end of the night because we had stuff down there to clear it up. And I couldn't wait to get out. It just felt like a really bad. But when I was down there last time,
It's funny you say that, because we were here last night. It's only a very small group in last night. It's only 4 of them. Really nice, really nice set of people. I come in, and you came later on, didn't you?
Yeah.
So obviously when we opened the building, open like the doors up to the classrooms and the bedrooms and stuff, and open the cellar up and make sure it's all right. And I was fine. I went down there and I took them with me, like they went down the cellar with them when I went down there. But yeah, I went down first and everything. It felt great.
That is a first for you.
Yeah. I thought, it feels alright. This. But what was it like when you went?
Well, we were sitting up in this room where we are now, and we were just sitting there waiting for them to tidy up and that, and we heard this huge bang, And then the next minute they were running, like, they running across the building. We said, what's going on, yeah?
What, the main hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we went down to see if they were all right now, and he said, well, the weird thing is we were in the cellar, and we were coming back up. He said, we felt shuffling, like feet shuffling.
Mm.
And then he said, we got up the stairs, and he came out of the cellar door. As they were walking across the floor, the door slammed with a bang. I think somebody's about to come into the room. And it was just like a huge, bang. And what happened then is, they just ran, and they said the door just slammed behind them. Now, if you go to the cellar door, you've got to...
Yeah,
It's not, I know it's a big set of double doors, and only one gets opened. But
just...
Is it the rooms?
But that door doesn't really move onto it. If you open it and leave it like a quarter of the way, it'll stay there.
Yeah.
Halfway, it'll stay there. Open it all the way, and it'll just stay there. It doesn't move back.
But it was just like one bang.
But it was, when they'd gone, obviously we go round and check everything, make sure everything's back as it were, like chairs and tables and stuff. Make sure it's all nice and tidy in there.
And we decided...
We could hear a noise
Mm.
on the other side. No, on the balcony bit. It sounded like it was on the balcony bit, so we went up. I can't figure out. It was like, it was like gushing water, but it wasn't raining. That's what I thought it sounded like.
Yeah. So
it wasn't raining at all.
It
was just this constant noise.
But we decided then, didn't we, not to go into the cellar?
Yeah, it
just
felt very uneasy.
Yeah, and that's how I felt the very first time. But I remember last time on the L35 one, I did the sensory deprivation in the very small one. And to be fair, if that was the first time round, I wouldn't have done it. But I felt more at ease second time round down there, because I felt it, even though things were happening to us because we had the dog, you know what I mean, sniffing around.
That's right.
And we had obviously little things going on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just felt right to do it at that time, you know what I mean? Where I say first time round, no, I don't think I would have ventured going down there, to be fair. Certainly not in the room.
Strange, I don't know how it makes you feel sometimes.
If anybody wants to hear that one with Neil on L35, go onto the Access Paranormal podcast on YouTube, Access Paranormal Radio on YouTube, and you will go down till you get to the L35. There's part 1 and part 2. Have a listen to them, and you'll hear Neil in the cellar saying, "Get me out." I'm Neil Murray.
I'm not a celeb.
It was his wife who told us to put him in there, but we couldn't knock the door, could we?
So we're going on holiday 2 days later, so she wants peace and quiet for 7 days. So straight off.
You're into the paranormal. You've enjoyed it. I mean, you captured us. You've gone. I think you emailed me or rang me or something, didn't you? Said you fancy coming onto L35 Radio.
Yeah, because I noticed that you're doing obviously with another station, and obviously they're not around anymore, the Liverpool one. So yeah, because it's just a lot of people. It's a subject that you either love it or you don't. It's one you like it, or you don't. It's one of them subjects, and I think there's a lot more people who like it. You know, but they won't admit to liking it. Yeah. But they do like it, and it just intrigues. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. You know, we've been to. Let's say we went to Hack Green, and we had a guy with us, and he had an answer for everything. You know, literally everything. Until we got the thermal imaging camera out, and then he couldn't explain. You know, a heat source in front of him, and there's nothing there. He couldn't explain that. You know what I mean? And brilliant. You know, the thermal imaging. And when you've been to Hack Green, we had you sat down in the cinema.
The
cinema in there, and that was very good. We were sat down in there, and that was a very good experience.
And that's the best room.
Yeah, that was brilliant in there.
Well, I got a funny story about the cinema part. We were in there. We were with another group then, so it's quite a while back. Yeah. We were sitting in there, and Don and Mike, who come to Mill Street quite often on their own.
They've been in a couple of weeks,
And they'd gone off. They were doing the sensory deprivation, and that's 10-12 years ago, and they were doing it. We were sitting in the cellar, and there was me, Hazel, and a few others. We heard them coming along the corridor, and I went, "Shh, here they come." I'm going to frighten them, you know, like that. So as they come towards the door, they're mumbling away and talking away like that. And as they come into him, I went, "Get out." Exactly like that. She hit the wall. He flew in the air somehow. And it was the funniest thing I've ever done to anybody, right? He wanted to kill me. She smacked me. It was the funniest thing to see. It's just a she tapped on the spot.
And that was Donna and Mike.
Donna and Mike. And Donna always says, I'm going to get you back.
I hope they don't listen or listen to this or watch this.
So I can take the
It's in the house.
I'll take the audio out.
In a week or two, I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go behind them and I'm gonna go, get out.
Yeah, I was only joking.
Come in.
So you've been to Hack Green, you've been to
Stanley Palace,
you've been to Mill Street Parks, you've been to
Newsham.
Newsham, yeah, been
So
Newsham.
What was Newsham like, Nick?
Been to Newsham twice. First time we went, I felt the whole night was absolutely flat. As I know, you know, it's against probably another wrong term to use because you know, they don't sort of act on whatever, you know what I mean? It just completely, for me, nothing was there. And then about 3 weeks later, my brother was going through some footage because we sort of video a lot of stuff as well. My brother's gone through some footage, and they got CVP of a voice saying to us, and we played back a few times, leave us alone. It's like a hush, leave us alone. And it's just literally seconds. And again, in that particular room, there was me, my brother, my other brother, and my brother's mate in this one particular room. It's like the nurses section, and that's all that was in there. And that's the only thing we picked up on that whole. Sorry, at that time. So I then decided to review some footage going back, and we set the camera up downstairs in the mortuary, down there. We had it's like a laser pencil. It gives you like all the thousand dots on the wall. Yeah. So we set one of them up as well, with the camera set on. We just left it there permanently all the time. We were down there before break. Nothing happened at all. Went to have a cup of tea. Nothing happened whatsoever. And then obviously the night finished. Took it all home, reviewed it, and as we went up the stairs, when we saw the camera still rolling, you could see something. It was nothing down there. It was just a camera for its own. But about 2-3 minutes after that, because I was just sort of watching it, and then you could see like something come towards the camera. All the lights were getting fuzzy. The camera's going to focus. It couldn't focus properly. Lasted about 4 seconds, and just went back to normal again. So there was something there, you know what I mean? Because the camera, and after that, again, nothing was sort of disturbed on the lens. There was nobody down there, and that's the only place in the whole place I felt uneasy because I had to go back down for the camera later in the evening towards the end on my own. So I went down there, you know what I mean? I know, yeah, and went down there, no problem. So I think, oh no, it's alright, I had to touch, I'm alright, you know what I mean? So I got down there, set the camera down, you know, on my own. Started walking back, and if you remember, as you get there, sort of the stairs go on the sort of turn halfway up, and as I got to the turn, the stairs, I just got this urge just to run down that last sort of flight of stairs, and I did run. I just forgot to like someone was behind me and just run. And then if you look at a lot of YouTube videos afterwards, so like other people down there, it's a similar scenario where people are coming up the stairs and they get the urge to get out quick. It's very strange. They're being chased out, and that's the only thing.
Or following you.
Or being followed, yeah. But apparently the part of it's been blocked off, isn't it? Because it's supposed to be really, really bad.
Oh, I don't know.
But apparently so, yeah.
It's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah, and then we went back about 12 months later, and again, another night, we went into the children's corridor where you're supposed to throw little balls and things, and again, nothing was really happening, you know, at all. We went down into another mortuary, nothing at all. Went into the boat room, up in various parts, and we were coming back one night, and we were going back up to the top floor to one of the wards, and we come up the stairs, and then they call it the suicidal staircase because someone kept throwing themselves up. So people kept throwing themselves over. So we got up there and we got to sort of level with this door. This door slammed, and I mean really slammed loud, you know what I mean, like a proper echoing around the building. They bloody hell. So I'm thinking, the door closes on them because they can't do that. So I ran round to the door, think idiot, but I ran round the other side of the door, and you know, to say nothing said obviously, you know, at all. And somebody else, my brothers came round with me, nothing there whatsoever. And then we sort of tried to get this door. I'm trying to slam the door, but you couldn't repeat what happened because the door closure on it. You couldn't sort of, you know, reactivate what had happened. So yeah, so they definitely allow, you know what I mean, you know, and you know there was
that a similar thing happened when we went. You were with us.
No, I didn't go with you.
Did you not go?
No.
There was Liz.
There was
Bill.
There's Bill.
I thought you went.
No. I'll tell you who went. Michelle and Anne.
Yeah.
Michelle and Anne.
I thought it was all.
No, I didn't go that one.
Because it was discounted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She got us a nice little discount.
It's expensive, isn't it? It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Well, the first one we ran with Andy as like Paranormal,
Right, yeah.
and we were getting a bit worried because it was, you know, we have to get around about 60 people to £1,000
just to cover the cost.
Yeah, it was very expensive. And we made nothing at all on that. A lot of work went into it. You know, as you want to try and make a bit of money.
Yeah.
Didn't make a penny, but very expensive.
Yeah,
it's a big place as well.
But you only choose 10 areas, don't you? You're not allowed
you're
not allowed,
bits of it.
4 areas. You know, so.
We had a similar experience with a door where all the wards are and stuff.
Yeah.
Like where they have the curtains and stuff.
Yeah, that's the same area.
There was one of the doors, right? And I think we've been going into some of the rooms, like doing stuff in some of the rooms and stuff. And we'd come out of this one, and the door just closed. But it had been, it was that particular door was open when we went up there.
Mm-hmm.
So we opened it again. We thought, I don't know what it was, but as the door just like closed over or what, I don't know. So we opened the door again, roughly to whereabouts it was, and it would not close. It was actually carpet on the floor. It was stuck on the carpet, so it couldn't close.
But something closed there.
But something did close it.
Yeah.
That's the strong
That was the only thing that we got.
That's worse than where we were there, because we were in the wards area.
Yeah,
and this was one of the doors, sort of exiting the wards onto the staircase, and that's where it was.
So that was the door like into one of the rooms, I think it was. Yeah, it's one of the rooms, but that's all we got that night. I was for such a big place.
Yeah.
That's got such a big reputation.
A lot of following, hasn't it, as well?
Yeah. I thought, like you said, it was very flat.
Yeah.
But
I feel a bit with it. Yeah, it was. It's a shame, really, because we were looking forward to it, you know, and then.
But you can't make it happen, can you?
You can't.
You
know
can't.
what I mean? You can't.
It's like that here in Mill Street as well.
Yeah,
I think it's like that wherever you go.
No.
I've been loads of places, haven't we?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can go somewhere, nothing at all. Done that here. Been here for like 8 hours. Nothing whatsoever. You come in, you could just walk around, complete darkness.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But like last night, you wouldn't go down anywhere near.
Last night when they gone.
The atmosphere was completely different, wasn't it?
It was like, no.
It's funny how
I'm not saying you know the building well. You know what I mean? So you know very well.
That was not nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? What happens in paranormal stuff. So how long have you been doing paranormal stuff?
I think it started around about 2016. So we did it a few years, and obviously COVID hit. And then obviously COVID came, so we it sort of stopped. So last year was the first one we'd done since pre-COVID.
Was it?
Yeah. So everything shut down, didn't it? So it was good to sort of do it again. But it's just, I'd love to do more. It's just busy. You know what I mean,
you're on L35, so you run it. So
it takes a lot of time.
Never ending.
Yeah, it's a lot of obviously, you know, it's not just the problem. It's the running of it and sponsors and day to day and stuff. You know what I mean. Keep the presenters flowing, keep it fresh, which kept us great for us. But it's.
I still can't get over. I'm the longest serving L35.
You are, yeah. You said it correctly there as well. Well done. You said it correctly. Well done.
I know. Because I was looking at it.
Looking over there, yeah. Come on. We've wrote it to you. We've actually said L35. Welcome to L35 Radio. In fact, I don't know if you've noticed on your last trailer. I don't know if you've listened to your last trailer.
No.
No. Okay. We kept pepping you to do a new trailer, and obviously Jonathan's there. Yeah. Well, on your last trailer, you sent it through to us, and you actually say on it, and this is only going back to April. You actually say L35. So Kev got fed up with you, so he edited you out.
Did he?
And he's worked his magic on it, and obviously, it sounds.
Does it actually sound like me saying L35, or have you cut me?
No, we've cut you out altogether.
A lot of people
we cut you out altogether. You're talking, but when you say L35, you go.
Yeah,
we cut you out.
Love it, Neil.
I'm forever.
Well, do you know where we can get it?
It's to me, it's L35.
But it's not.
But you look at that. It says on it L35.
L35.
Yeah.
Postcode
What's the number
L35.
after the L, Jamie?
3.
What's the number after the L, Jamie?
3.
What's the number? It's 35.
Yeah.
Postcode L35.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I get
You get it now, yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice having Neil from L35 on. Yeah. So if anybody's been trying to look for L35, it's not, it's L35.
Yeah.
But Alexa does
The
answer
boss
to L35. She will answer to
You're joking.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
said
but you won't
Yeah.
cut here.
Oh,
No.
Did you have to set that up just because
Just
of
in
Jamie?
case, yeah, because his little mess up, yeah.
Do you know, if anything ever happens to me, I'm going to come back and haunt you and I'm going to go into the L35.
Jamie, go away.
Be on the Ouija board when you're
I know.
L3. Oh, it's Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, mate.
What's
Hang on,
this?
there's a joke coming through. Hang on.
There's a joke coming through. Close it.
Yeah.
So what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you, Neil? Apart from being with us.
I would say nothing even to do with a ghost hunt or ghost night. Not to do that at all. Away from that, we used to live in a house, as we all do. But when me Tracy first got married, we lived in Brookside Road, and lived in number 9 Brookside Road, and that's the only house in all these years we've truly argued. We never argued. We had little disagreements, but we don't have a full, We had a full blown row in there, proper full blown row. Never
Anybody living in that address now? It's okay.
Yeah. And it just felt it had a bad feeling to it.
Mm.
I've worked in all sorts of, because I'm an electrician by trade, I've worked in most old buildings in Liverpool. I've been under the floors, I've been over all of the old universities, the hospitals, the Albert Dock, everywhere. I've been in cellars, little tiny voids, never bothered. I went into this loft of this house and I didn't like it up there. I wanted to get out. I just felt uneasy. It's a loft. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get out. Anyway, this one particular night, I woke up and days of phones, sides of the bed, proper old phones.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually woke up with a phone cord around my neck. No word of a lie. No word of a lie, honestly. And I woke up that one night and then we decided to move. We were in the process of buying the house because we were renting to buy. And we just said, no, it just didn't feel right at all. Because we kept arguing in the, and this phone around the neck, and I swear it on my daughter's and my wife's life, it was just literally wrapped around my neck. I was like, no, we're going. And we moved out literally 2 months later. We just we're staying there.
Don't think
So that's the most.
Yeah.
And again, nothing to do with obviously paranormal hunting or anything like that at all. It was just literally a one-off. And I was like, no, can't go with that. Yeah. So, but it's the only house. It just felt uneasy, and then we moved obviously to where we moved to. Felt like I've been there for years. Literally been there a couple of days. Felt like we'd always lived there. Never felt out of place or anything. It was just strange sensation.
But there's one of them houses in Highton, Oakfield Drive, and my mum and dad lived in it. And this was before that. Yeah, I think I wasn't born then. So, but my brother was, right?
So that's a long time ago then, isn't it? 1800 and...
No.
Yeah. 1850s, I reckon.
1850s, also 1890s maybe. 1850s.
You can let me tell this story.
Go on, sorry.
Carry
Yeah,
on.
sorry.
You can invite him down to do an interview with him and he insults me on my own show.
I like him.
On my own show, on his radio station.
What, L35?
L35.
L35.
But my mum and dad said when they moved in, it felt strange. Everything felt strange about it and everything else. And they said the same as you. They argued nearly every day. They were fighting, not fighting, but fighting, arguing and that. And my brother saw, he said, was a man standing next to the wall with his arms folded, looking stern. The fellow who lived there was a police officer. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to move out the house or anything like that. He had to go into a home where he died. And my mum and dad moved in a few weeks after he'd moved out. And obviously he died. My brother was saying that he was standing in the bedroom like that. And that's when they found out who he was and everything else and that. They decided to move away. And they swapped houses with somebody else. My mum and dad moved into Hay Road in Highton.
Yeah.
And they said the same thing, is best house they ever moved into was that Hay Road. But apart from the one in Greenfield Grove, but Hay Road was one of the houses which they loved living in. But the fella who moved into that house after me mum and dad, because he'd done a house swap, came back to me mum and dad and said, when you were in the house, did you have any kind of strange things happen and things like that? Because I don't know who it was, whether it was daughter or his son or what, said that he'd seen a man standing there, arms folded, looking at them.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But
Sounds a bit like, no, I don't remember anything like that.
You know, when we were there.
Nah.
What with the neighbours, you know?
Sorry about the little wee on the floor.
Well, you are that age now, aren't you?
But it's great. I mean, you can go on and on about the paranormal, because it's just phenomenal. What there's so many stories. And years ago, we couldn't talk like this.
No.
It was a big no-no. And I don't know what it would have been like for the radio, whether you were allowed
You couldn't
to
do it, could you? Because I remember listening to shows years ago, and they bleeped a lot of it out. It's like, if you remember like the Paul McCann stuff, like in Hypnotising, used to take a lot of it out, wouldn't they? Stuff like that, But shows the same, they weren't allowed. But I always remember the infamous Ghost Watch on BBC.
1992.
I remember watching that, and I'm thinking,
favourite one of all
it's brilliant. But and sometimes as you sort of begin of it, you fell for it. It's only towards the end of it you started dropping, and then you started thinking, hang on a minute, this is the bit, and then it all sort of came out. But I think that was really brilliant show, and I think that was a turning point.
I've said it for years, haven't I?
That
paranormal programme, Ghost Watch.
Yeah, Ghost Watch, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was Michael Asp,
wasn't it? And Carl Beattie was one of the cameramen, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, because he worked for the BBC, and he was one of the cameramen on that programme, and that's where they brought
That's where they
together.
got the idea
Perfect,
from.
mate, absolutely perfect. And Most Haunted was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
in the heyday,
I've got nothing
I've
to
nothing
say.
bad to say about it.
Yeah.
I've got nothing bad to say about it. I know people criticising that.
Yeah.
But I think from the 1992 Paranormal one, if you think about it, they started in 2002.
Yeah.
So, there was a brilliant link there.
Yeah.
Is it 10-year gap? Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, so 10 years on, Carl Beattie and the rest of them, the Most Haunted team, along with Derek Okora, all started that new era of the paranormal. And I say, them two were the pinnacle of us being able to sit here and talk about the paranormal now. So it wasn't for them.
Everyone watches them, everyone talks about it. Get the
You used to love the lives, didn't you? The lives were fantastic.
It's one in Tatton Park in Cheshire.
You went to, I went to the one in Barnes, Elscar.
Yeah, because they had a couple of lives in like Liverpool as well, didn't they?
Over
in Tranmere as well, wasn't it? I remember Tranmere, Town Hall, things like that. Yeah.
But I mean, what I like about, you just said the 1992 one, Halloween special that was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It got banned for a while, didn't it? It was
the most highly
complained
about programme on the BBC, wasn't it, at the time? I remember that. It was
it
was reported for all sorts. It's very spoofy. If you look at it now, it's very spoofy now, isn't it? If you look at it,
so is it just one episode?
It's a one-off, yeah.
I'll tell you who's in it. There's Sarah Green.
Sarah Green.
Her husband.
What's his name? Mike.
Oh God, yeah.
Mike Smith, is it?
Michael Smith, Mike Smith. And also the Scout fella from Red Dwarf.
Oh, Craig Charles.
Craig Charles was in it. He was one of the people interviewing the
brilliant
public
show.
and that.
It was a full setup outside, wasn't it? So you felt like a full live setup outside, so it looked like a full live programme. And it was a live programme, but it was recorded.
It was just superbly done, wasn't it? The whole, whoever wrote it had the fantastic imagination to do it.
Yeah.
And to get Michael Aspel involved. Because at that time, Michael Aspel was like...
He was the...
So did them presenters not know what was going on?
Yeah, I think so, They were part of it.
They were all like a part of it.
But even the family, the house they went into...
They were all actors, weren't they?
Yeah, was it Mr. Pipes?
I can't remember the further name.
The part what I remember, and it's a little bit of a spoiler if you get to watch it, is the part where he opened the cellar door, the camera went down, and the door shut on the cellar door.
Yeah. Wasn't the girl on the stairs?
Yeah. It was a bit similar to the Enfield. The Enfield goes
right.
It was similar to that, with the two girls and the bad family and that. But it was brilliantly done. Absolutely brilliant.
For the time.
For the time, all the time, I mean, we're talking, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
It's like the Jaws in the Paranormal world, wasn't it?
Didn't have all the special effects and all that.
No,
especially something like that, just a one-off TV program.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have had the budget.
You need
for
to
it.
watch it.
No.
You need to watch
It is available on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah,
watch
you
it.
can see it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Neil, it's come to that moment in the show that we've got to say thank you for coming in and for talking to us. And we've got at the end of this, at the end of your one, there's nothing. I'm not going to tell you because we're recording it for the radio.
Oh yeah.
But we've got two girls coming up called the Common Mystics.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait till you listen to it, they're really good.
Yeah, will do.
They're coming on a monthly basis now.
Yeah.
So have a listen to that.
I will do indeed.
Yeah.
It's been good being here.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to have you here. We finally got them.
I know.
3 years. See you in 3 years.
We'll have you back before that.
Actually, no. I'll see you on the 27th of August.
27th of August? Oh, okay. Yeah. What's happening on the 27th of August?
27th of August, we are at Rain Hill Cricket Club, and it's the Summer Gala, and we are hosting it, L35, and we have Access Paranormal with us as well. So if you are available on the 27th, Sunday the 27th, £1 admission, great day out. Even if it's raining, it's a great day out. Come and join us and say hello.
Can't wait to look. Can't wait
for that one.
Yeah. It's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 27th.
Thank you. Yeah.
Not the 28th.
Not 28th, the 27th.
I get the point. I get the point.
Let's get the date right.
Yeah. So if anybody's watching this podcast, you missed it because it was last week. Or if I put it out earlier, don't see it next Sunday.
Yeah. Over next year, you will listen.
Just covering all both options. So Neil, thanks very much. And we'll be going across to the Common Mystics in a little bit as well. Me and Jonathan are going to have a little bit of a chat. Then we're going to go across to the Common Mystics.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for having me along.
You're welcome. So you should listen to L35 Radio. It's quite good, you know.
L35 is better. No, but L35 is better.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, fair enough. Right. On that note, let's go for a little break. Yeah.
If you'd like to join our Facebook community, why not search for Access Paranormal Radio Podcast? There's always something very spooky going on the Access Paranormal Facebook page.
Well, that was a really good interview there with Neil, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
It was a bit strange because he's the Mr. L35 himself, isn't he?
I know.
So, and to capture him, to get him to
I know, it was nice. It was nice to see him, wasn't it?
It was a good one
really
as well.
Nice.
And the funny thing is when we finished that one, he turned the tide, didn't he?
I know, yeah. And then he interviewed us.
Interviewed us for a show coming up in a couple of weeks' time for our 3rd year.
I know.
So that's an interesting one to talk about.
Yes, that'll be a good one. Don't miss it.
Yeah, we won't tell you anything about that one because it's a good one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish I'd recorded it as well for the podcast.
I know, it's been good, you know.
Would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But great to have him on the show.
Yeah, brilliant.
3 years and it's the first time we had him on for the Halloween.
Yeah, he's done the L35, hasn't he? Yeah.
L35.
Yeah.
But that was all really. It's the first time you've ever got him to come and sit down and talk to us.
Yeah, just for an interview.
Yeah. And we've done most of the talking.
Never mind.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
To get some of his experiences. I didn't realise he'd been to all them locations.
I know, yeah. Been to Newsham Park, Stanley Palace, and then he's had the one in his house. So, yeah, it was good. It's interesting.
And in a minute or so, Jonathan, we've got a brand new section on the show.
We have.
We're saying brand new, it's the first time we've ever had a section on the show.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Common Mystics. And it's called Boo Review.
Yes, it is.
And they're going to be reading stories from newspapers.
Yeah.
So they're about 10 to 15 minutes long, and this one is a good one.
Yeah, it is.
You still haven't heard it?
I've heard the beginning, and I can't wait.
Yeah. I've heard it.
I can't. I'm going to have to listen to the show.
You definitely are. Because it's coming on.
Too early.
Yeah. But they're kind enough to record for us.
Yeah, they are.
Every single month.
I know.
all the way from America. So
Yeah.
this is going to be on regular now on each month.
Yeah.
Common Mystics, Jill and Jenny, and they're going to be doing the Boo review. I like that.
I know, so do I. I've heard the beginning of it. I've heard the first minute or so, haven't I?
Yeah, where they introduce it.
And it sounds really good.
It does.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it's like a great show because we've had Neil on.
Yeah.
And we've got the beginning of a brand new going forward, isn't it? It's like a brand new start. This.
Yeah, it's good.
I was going to leave it to the third year, but I'm not. But you know what, Jonathan?
Go on.
We've talked enough about it.
Put it on.
Okay, this is Jill and Jenny with the Boo review.
From Common Mystics Media, this is The Boo Review. I'm Jill Stanley. Your monthly bulletin is based on a story that comes to us from the San Francisco Examiner dated March 29th, 1896. The article refers to a town located in the New England region of the United States. The town of Easton, Maine has been a place of legend for over 100 years. Now let's get with Jennifer James at the bulletin desk for more details. Jennifer?
Thank you, Jill. One ancient house in the heart of Easton had been deserted for many years. Despite the efforts to occupy the dilapidated building, no one had been able to stay within its walls for long. In an attempt to uncover the truth behind this strange phenomenon, one brave and curious young man from a prominent family decided to investigate by spending several nights in the old house. His story quickly spread among the townspeople, and they were captivated by his recount of the strange events he had encountered. That first night, after he had gone to bed and left the light on, a large black canine appeared as if out of nowhere. It seemed to have passed through a closed door without any effort and made its way over to his bedside. The dog stood there with a fierce glint in its eyes, almost as if it was staring him down. The young man was so startled that he started up in his bed, only to see the spectral figure evaporate into nothingness. It seemed like a warning of something sinister, but he couldn't fathom what it could be. He felt as if an invisible menace was looming over him. All he could do was wait and see what would come next. The young investigator, determined to uncover the truth of the mysterious occurrences in the house, braced himself for what was to come. He hadn't expected that what would appear before him was a young woman. Seemingly no older than he, wearing a white dress that seemed outdated and torn in places. Her hair was a wild mess of unkempt black strands that hung around her face like a curtain. Tears streamed down her porcelain skin as she wrung her hands together in despair. The eerie atmosphere was exasperated by an appalling clanking of a heavy chain coming from somewhere below, accompanied by deep groans from various places around the house. The inner walls of the house creaked and groaned in response to the agonizing clamor of the chain, and an oppressive darkness filled every corner of the building, only broken by a few cracked windows that let minimal light in. The air was thick with fear and apprehension, making it almost impossible to move or to speak. And to make matters worse, there were strange sounds coming from all directions, mysterious whispers, scuttling feet, slamming doors, as if some unseen force were lurking in every room. Even the furniture seemed to vibrate with an unearthly energy, ready to come alive at any moment. Whatever was causing the strange and unnatural disturbance, it was clear that this place was far from safe. The young man trembled in fear as he stepped out of his bed, and he headed downstairs to the dining room. His heart pounded wildly, and it felt like an eternity as he made his way through the eerie corridors of the house. He could hear strange, unknown voices echoing throughout the walls, almost as if they were communicating with each other about him. He was terrified, but determined to prove that he wasn't afraid. When he finally arrived at the dining room, he cautiously opened the door and peered inside. What he saw before him filled his soul with dread and disbelief. The room was filled with a variety of ghostly figures from all walks of life. Some were dressed in ancient garments, while others wore clothes from more modern times. Some had a pale glow around them, while others were shrouded in shadows. All of them seemed to be staring directly at him with their cold, dead eyes. The young man had no idea how long he remained frozen in place, but eventually he mustered up enough courage to take a step forward into the room. It seemed like an eternity before any of the figures moved or said anything, until one stepped forward and spoke in a hollow voice. "We've been expecting you." The house has never been entered since. Another Easton man of undoubted veracity claims to have seen a phantom woman in broad daylight when the sun was shining brightly and no thoughts of the ghostly were in his mind. It was in his own home, too, where all was cheerful and nothing existed to put him in a morbid state. The mysterious woman was described as having a gaunt and haggard appearance, her face pale and drawn with dark circles beneath her eyes. She was wearing tattered clothing that seemed to flutter in the wind, despite there being no breeze present. Her hair was disheveled and hung down around her shoulders in greasy strands. He felt a chill as he slowly raised his gaze, and there before him was the ghostly figure of what appeared to be a woman. He was so taken aback by the realism of her presence that he began to take a step forward, as if to greet her in some way. But before he could manage a word, however, the woman gave him one long, penetrating look. It felt like she had seen right into his core and read every thought, emotion, and feeling that lie within. Stunned by this experience, he watched in amazement as she turned without a word and walked away slowly until she faded from view. To this day, the memory of her eyes still haunts him. These accounts have been corroborated by other local residents who reported similar sightings of a mysterious woman lingering in the shadows around town. Those who have seen her feel unsettled by her presence and are unable to shake the feeling of dread when recalling their encounter with her. For those who live in Easton, these stories have become part of their folklore, another strange tale to be told during late-night conversations over crackling campfires. I'm Jennifer James.
My goodness, thank you so much, Jennifer. And for all of us at Common Mystics Media, we thank you for listening to the Boo Review. You can find us at commonmystics.net. Find us on our socials at Common Mystics Pod. Listen to Common Mystics Podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And check out our book, Common Mystics Present Ghost on the Road, Volume 1, Murders and Mysterious Deaths, available at Amazon or wherever books are sold. Until next time, I'm Jill Stanley. Good night.
What did you think?
Do you know what? That was brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. And do you know what? They put us to shame. They're so professional, aren't they?
Oh, they just...
I like the sound effects in the background.
Yeah, I do. I like the background sounds.
It did sound like the news.
It did, didn't it? But it sounded like a spooky news.
Well, it is. It's the Boo News.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the Boo Review. I like that one as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And they're very enthusiastic about it. I'll try that again.
Enthusiastic
about it. As soon as we asked them to do this, they were
I'll do amazing, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, they're happy to do it. We're honoured that they're actually doing it for us.
Yeah.
And I hope you liked it over there in Radio Land. We hope that
I know.
they enjoyed that little bit of a change to the show.
Yeah, something a little bit different, isn't it?
And if we find anybody else who we think is going to be great,
yeah, them on and all, yeah.
So you don't have to listen to our boring voices every single week.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan's.
That's it. I'm going home.
Yeah. But yeah, we've not been able to get out, have we, with the weather?
No. It's beautiful English weather that we have here. It's been full of rain.
Oh, I know about it. Tell me about it. I've been caught in it a couple of times.
That's
but we are, for both the radio and the podcasts,
yes,
we are starting to go out and about again.
Yeah, we will be out again soon.
We've just had that little bit of a delays and we've been a little bit stuck. But we've still been able to carry on with the radio, which is good.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, we've still got more stuff to put out there.
We certainly are. We're ahead of ourselves for a change.
We are.
Thankfully.
Which is good.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff coming up.
I mean, Marie will be back. As I've explained before, the kids.
I know, yeah.
6 weeks holidays a year. The kids are off work.
They're off school.
So
all their parents are still in work.
Yeah, so it's like Marie's been managing little kids.
I know.
Well, grandkids, not little kids and that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a busy time for her.
It has.
I mean, you've been holding the fort.
I know.
But it's still here. Up. Right. But what a great show we've had tonight, Jonathan. We've had Neil Murray.
Yeah.
L35, which this is going out on.
I know, yeah.
And if you miss it on L35, you can go to Access Paranormal Podcast.
You can.
Access Paranormal Radio.
Yeah.
Or Access Paranormal Investigate. All on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you've got any stories you want to tell us, you can do. What's the email address, Jonathan?
It is info.accessparanormal.
Yeah. info.accessparanormal@gmail.com.
Yeah, gmail.com.
Also, visit our website. We've got a website out there now. It's still under construction and that, but it's quite a bit out there for you to look at. That's accessparanormaluk.com.
Yeah.
Or for the old ones who like the old way of doing it, www.accessparanormaluk.com. Go and have a look on there. You can get to YouTube on there.
Yeah.
You've got
all the radio shows.
Yeah, all the radio show. It explains about us and everything else.
Tells you who we are.
Yeah. And you'll see our ugly mushes on there as well.
Yeah, certainly will.
And a little bit of information about us.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, it's been a fun-filled show this week.
It has been a bit different, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's time to go.
I know.
Yep, it's that time again. So again, thanks to Neil Murray from L35 for coming down and doing an interview with us, and also to Jill and Jenny, Common Mystics, for doing their show for us, their bit for us,
brilliant.
the Booze Review. And we'll be back again next week from Jonathan and myself, Jamie. We'll see you then. Good night.
Good night.